Good evening. Happy Tuesday and welcome. And thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your evening to spend with me tonight. I am Julie with Creations by Julie. Let me pull this up and get on my page because we're going to do something different tonight too. And you can't pull it up until after the live has started. So there, I think we are. Okay, I'm going to use that in a little bit. Okay, we're going to start tonight. I've got everybody's name here in the bowl from last week with the Magnolia Designs. And Ed's going to pull a name, and whoever's name he pulls gets this dish towel. And I have heat sealed it. It should be ready to go, I hope. So let's see, has anybody hopped on? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and draw so that we can get started on our project for tonight. So Ed's going to pull a name and let us know who gets the towel. It's a name you can't pronounce, isn't it? Is that not strange? Okay, this is a new member of the group. This week is the first time I've seen her name. And it's Eunice Perkins Sklush. See, I'm one to talk about names. But anyway, Eunice Perkins, G-L-U-S-H-E-F-K-I. So, Eunice, you get the towel, and congratulations. It's strange how sometimes things like that work. You know, you've got 30 names in a bowl, and some people have it in there 10 times. But tonight was her night. So, Eunice, I will send you a message, and you need to private message me your address because I do not have it. I remember when I saw this name, I thought, oh goodness, I hope she doesn't live in the UK. I might ought to stipulate that I don't mail to the UK. So, but I stalked her on Facebook for a second, and from the things I saw, I don't think she lives in the UK. So anyway, she gets our towel. And tonight, we'll do something a little bit different, and it's going to be, oh, I put that back. That's okay, leave it in there. If she doesn't, was that it? If she doesn't contact me, we'll draw another one. Is that it, the right one? Okay. Tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different and a little fun that kids can help you with. And I had found these cute little, I don't know if y'all can see it, buttons at Walmart, and they're ladybugs. I was kind of disappointed after I had picked out my material I wanted to use because they don't stand out. Now this one, it stands out pretty good. But we're going to make these fabric flowers, and what you're going to need to do this is any kind of fabric that you have. I've picked out several tonight. And you're going to need scissors, a needle, and heavy thread. I'm going to use dental floss, because, I mean, it just doesn't break, and I really like it. And I'm going to use the same big needle that I used for my pumpkins, but you don't have to use one this big. But you're going to need, you know, and then something to go in the center. That's really the only gluing, is whatever you decide to put in the center. And these were just some, and I'm telling y'all, these are addictive. They're a lot of fun to make. Now, depending, this one is tiny. This is one of the first ones.
Hold up the vase.
Oh, I just stuck these in here. These were my practice ones that you can put them on a stem. And y'all, you may be better at doing leaves than I am, but I did not like the leaves out of cloth. I actually think I'm going to use them just as embellishments on a wreath or on something else. But I just stuck them down in this little thing that I had on my tiered tray. And you actually, like I said, depending on what size that you cut your circle, you're going to cut 6 circles. And what I did, this was the first one that I did. I think Ed's going to bring you down so you can get a good look. Hopefully I'll be out of the picture. Okay, this was the first one I did, and it, by the time it's finished, it's only 3 inches across, like this. And this is what I used to cut my circle. This is just out of a little thing of ribbon. And I thought, well, I want a little bit larger than that, so I just went and got one a little bit bigger. This one And I think this is a good size flower myself. It's actually like 4 1/4. This is exactly 4 inches. Now, if you want to make a huge flower, you could even use like a bowl or something. I mean, it just depends on what you like. The flowers, I think this is a good size. So that's mainly what I did. I think I did this one a little bit smaller. You also could stack them. Somebody said the other day, no, you know, isn't that cute? You can just stack them on top of each other and double up your flower. But you pick out whatever kind of fabric you want. I will tell you, this fabric, it looks larger, but it was done with the same circle. But this is a thicker fabric, and therefore you can't gather it together as tight, and your hole's a little bit larger, which makes it a little bit larger of a flower. But make them all different sizes. But you only need 6 circles of whatever kind of fabric you choose. Of course, you're going to need your scissors. I've got a few cut, but I'm going to cut. And y'all, all I did was bought a couple of these fat quarters from Walmart. And with one thing of the fat quarters, you have enough material to make, I think it was 3 flowers out of the one thing. So, and I'm going to show you the way I did it. And tonight, our giveaway is just going to be taken from the comments. I have a circles cut to give away a sunflower, and what was the other one? It was this one, the black, and I will send you this. I've already cut the circles. I'll send you circles and something to go in the center. You can use what I send you, or you can put something else in the center. Like I said, I was a little disappointed that my ladybug didn't show up any better than it did. Okay, so you're just going to take your material and you move this stuff over a little bit. And I'm going to go with the larger circle. This sticker really wanted to stick. Okay, and I just found it easier to fold. It's almost the width of the fold. So I just folded it in. And you want to draw, of course, on the wrong side of your material. And that's actually, all right, we're going to go with right at the fold, okay? So you're just going to fold it over, and that way you can cut 2 at a time. Some of you may be really good and you can cut more than 2, but I just did 2 at a time. I took a Sharpie. Now, like I said, you could go bigger if you want to. It was a little harder to do the smaller circles. This looks pretty big, but once you fold it for a flower, you're working in a pretty small area. But the 4 1/4 or 4 1/2 would be a pretty good size. And then I'm just going to hold it, and you're not going to see this, so I just used, and they don't have to be perfect. Y'all know me, nothing I do is perfect. But these were just a lot of fun. I thought they were really cute. I didn't, you know, of course, I didn't come up with the idea myself. I saw Lee from the Turquoise Valentine do some. And I've seen a lot of different people do them different ways. But I'm just showing you the way I did them. All right, so I'm going to cut 6 circles out of this piece of material. And I take the shortcut, and I just go ahead and cut it down and just cut 1 at a time. 2 at a time, actually. But does not have to be perfect. But you need 6 circles. Just follow your lines, and like I said, I don't worry about it being exact. As you can see, there's you could do it with 5 circles. I just liked 6. At first I thought this was like hearts. I thought, well, I don't want that, but it's not. It's polka dots. So you just work on your circles and get them cut out. And like I said, kids could do this. You could get you a little vase. You could make them for embellishments for stuff. You actually could put pins on the back of them, make a little brooch. Okay, so I've got 4. And the fold in the material is not going to hurt anything. I guess if I'm holding it up like that, you can't see it, huh? You can't see it up here?
No, yeah, you can see it.
So you haven't zoomed in on the board.
Yeah.
Has he cut my head off, y'all?
Yeah, I covered it.
Just barely. Can you zoom in a little bit more? Because when I start stitching it, they're going to need to see what I'm doing. I can tell them pretty much, but no guarantee they'll understand. All right, so you've got your 6 circles. Okay, there's that. That's trash. Okay. All right, you're going to need. I didn't measure my stuff, but you don't need to put a knot in it or anything. You just need a needle, and I would use the dental floss. I got this from the Dollar Tree. I would use dental floss. So you're going to take your circle and you're going to fold it in half, okay, so that it looks kind of like a taco. And then you're going to fold it in half again.
Is that not close enough?
No, can you get closer?
Well, I'm liable to...
Just don't touch the edges.
I did it.
You did it? It's not showing yet. Okay, so y'all see? Fold it in half, like a taco. Fold it again. Okay, this is what you've got. Whoa. I see you.
It'll go away.
You kept it on yourself for a long time.
Well, I was trying to...
Oh, Lordy. And you're still not very close. All right. So what I do is I turn it over, however you decide to do it, you need to do it the same way every time. Okay? And I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or not. But I fold it and then fold it again, and then I just kind of turn it, and you want to do a running stitch from here to here around the curved part of your petal. You're making one petal and you're putting it on this needle. And I like to start right at the corner. It doesn't really matter how big you do your running stitch. You just, and some of the material is thicker than others. See, this material feels a little bit thicker than some of that other did. I like to end it. If you leave this little bit like this, it makes your petal look weird. So I always try to at least go up through the end of it. And since this is thicker, it's a little harder to get over that because I'm using such a big needle. You just have to undo it and get it down there. Okay. So you just push it down. Doesn't matter if it comes undone a little bit or not. Okay. And you're going to do the same thing with all 6 petals. All right, fold it like a taco, and then fold it again. Now, if you want to just pick it up and do it, for some reason I always flip it over. I start with the folded edges. But like I said, once you decide how you're going to do it, just do the same thing over and over. Okay, and then just a running stitch. You want to make sure that you catch all 4, it's at least 4 edges, but close to the edge, and then out the other side. And that's 2 of them. You can mix and match material. I've got some circles cut over here that we may do in a minute. I don't know, Ed has me bumfuzzled now. Okay, and through the end. All right, y'all have any questions? And if you can't see, ask me a question, and I'll try to explain it a little better. All right, while I'm doing this, I will tell y'all we are leaving the state Saturday. So I will not be doing a live Friday night. We have a few things we need to do, and we'll be packing. And then I will be gone all next week. So the next live that I'll do will be Tuesday the 27th of April. This will be our first trip, pretty much, anywhere this year. Well, for a year. Okay, taco, fold it again. Does anybody have any questions, Ed?
Haven't seen any.
I mean, if you can do a running stitch, you know, and a 10-year-old can do it. Most 10-year-olds know what a running stitch is. That's the only way I think I know to call it. But you're just catching those loose edges. And I probably could use a smaller needle, but I just can't see how to thread it. But I really recommend that you use dental floss instead of regular thread. And you'll see why in a minute. But you can whip up these of all different colors in no time at all. And like I said, it's kind of addictive. I found myself hunting more material to do them with. All right, well, this was number 6. Now these thicker, maybe you could squeeze them together better with just 5 petals. You could try it. All right, once you get it on there, you're just gonna, I take the needle loose, and you're just gonna pull the edges. And usually you can go ahead and start your tie. I'm just gonna look like I'm gonna tie it in a knot and then just pull. See, you can pull this dental floss really hard. So you're making your flower, kind of flattening it as you go, but you can flatten it later. Pull it as tight as you want it to get that middle, and then just tie it again. I tie about 3 knots is what I had been doing before I cut off the dental floss. Super, super easy. All right, because you can straighten it. Then I cut off the extra and decide what I'm going to put in the middle, but we'll make all of them and then we'll put something in the middle. And you could turn it either way. All right, can y'all see it? I can't tell. Okay, so that's the red and white one. All right, I've got the others. You're not going to have to sit and watch me cut them, but I wanted to do one in this mixture. I had like 2 extra of these, and so I wanted to do one that's a mix of the black and the red and stuff. And I'd rather have too much dental floss than not enough, so yeah, it may be a little bit wasteful, but not really. All right, y'all know I'm blind.
How you gonna fix that?
Really and truly I am. Out of one eye, anyway. Okay, there, I got it. That's why I'm using the big needle, so I can see. Okay. All right, we're gonna do this. I've got 3 different ones, so I'm gonna mix and match. So it's just doing the same thing over and over. Fold it, and then sew it. This is pretty thick too. This was fairly thin, and that fabric was pretty thin. So I don't know how it'll do mixing them. We'll see. Did y'all say hi to Ed when you saw him?
I did.
I guess I'm going to have to start telling him, comb your hair. Yeah, you did that, but then you didn't zoom.
Well, I'm afraid I'll mess up again.
You were pretty well zoomed in on your head. All right, here's the red. We'll figure it out. There's got to be a better way. Okay, so. And I'm just going to go through and pick from the comments. So the more you comment, better chance you'll have.
I hadn't seen any comment.
Well, maybe better swipe. There's comments. I see them. I can't read them, but there's comments. Maybe when you flipped it back. Swipe from your right to the left on the bottom of the screen. Try not to touch the flip. Because I see comments, I just can't read them. Did the comments come up? Now swipe.
No.
You want my phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought that was pretty thin, but it feels kind of thick.
There's lots of comments.
Exactly. I think I'm just going to dock his pay, y'all. What do you think?
Fire me. Fire me.
Yeah.
If you dock my pay, half of nothing, still nothing.
That's right. But I'll get it back and swipe the comments. But if y'all have questions, ask him. He's got my phone now, and he should be able to see comments on it. Sometimes Facebook goes crazy too, and with the iPad.
How many times do you fold the material?
I'm not counting. You just do a running stitch. If you want to count and do them all perfect, go ahead. I just, maybe every now and then they're big and then they're little. Let's see, on this one.
How many times you fold it?
Fold the material, I'm sorry. You fold it once, get yourself a taco, and then you fold it one more time. This is what you've got. Like, what, a watermelon slice?
Or cone. Little cone.
Birthday hat,
Mm-hmm.
if you hold it that way. I thought you meant how many times did I go in the material with the thread.
Brenda Bracken wants to know if is a running stitch where you pull it and it gathers?
Yes. Yes, it's just in and out, in and out, in and out. To where you can gather it. And you don't have to tie an end in your thread. Just don't push them all the way down to the end.
Brenda Bracken says, yes, there is questions. I think you missed them.
I think you did too.
Ed missed them. They're not showing up on here. I think I jinxed this thing.
Yeah, sometimes they don't show up. You would either have to refresh the page or swipe. But don't be touching it anymore.
Yeah. Karen Hunter said just got to see the top of his head.
Yeah.
Well, that was just a bald spot.
And see, that's what I don't understand. He's so much closer to... Well, he's right there on himself. So, all right, now see, I'm going to do red. So fold it once in half. You've got a circle, and the size of the circle depends on you. These are 4 1/4.
Karen Moore wants to know how big of a center will you need.
Well, it just depends on how tight you can pull it. You see this one I just did? Can you see? I don't know where the thing is.
About the size of a button.
Well, yeah, but look how big of a button I got on this one. See, this is thicker material. See how big the center is? I couldn't get it any tighter because of the... If I had just done 5 petals, this one would have been smaller. But now if you want it big, you could make it big. You just don't pull it as tight. This may be a total flop. It may look really crazy, but I wanted to give it a try because I had the 2 extra on them anyway. Okay. And you could use just about anything you want for a center. Buttons, pom-poms, the sunflower, I had some little sunflowers that I put in the center. And that's what one of the gifts tonight's going to be. 6 circles and a sunflower. And the other one is going to be the black polka dot on the red with a, I'm going to send you the ladybug because I think she's so cute. But if you want to put a black pom-pom on it, you could.
Karen said she'd like to do one in shades of purple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I told Ed after I did that first one because I had picked up 3. I picked up the black and white, the red and white, and the red and black, thinking it would be a coordinated. But then when I did them and put the ladybug on it, she just blended in too much. So then I found this black and white check and stripe, and this is actually 4th of July material. This one, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the one in the pot? The one right here with the yellow pom-pom? Yeah. That's actually farm material. It looks really pretty. You don't see the chickens and stuff, but that's what it is. So I would just say, you know, experiment with any kind of material. This was just, I was just playing and I had those. Okay, so I've got 6 on there. I'm going to take my needle out. And now when you go to pull it, you want to make sure that they're all turned the same way so that your petals are out. And you can either just take them then and hold both of them and push. We may have to play with this one a little bit because this black is so thick. But I discovered if you start your tying and if you use dental floss, it's not going to break. And see there, it's kind of big. And I don't know how tight I'll be able to get it with the black, with the white material being so thick. That's about as little as I'm going to get it. So I'll need a pretty good sized button or something for this one. It's not that bad though. And then just kind of hold it tight. Once you get your first knot going, then you can turn loose. And then just do a couple of knots to keep it. Okay, I've got the sunflower material cut to do one more, and then we'll put the centers on it. And then I'll tell you what I did about the stems. Okay, so I think you could play with that and it would be okay.
What size dental floss?
I don't have a clue. This is from the Dollar Tree. 91.4 is what this says, but I have used some other that's in there somewhere. Cover that back up. You could use, well, fishing line would probably be 2.
Brenda wants to know what the size of your needle is.
Big enough that I hope I can. See, it's the same needle I used for the pumpkins, but I bought some smaller ones. You could use a regular needle. It's not really the size of your needle. I'm just using this one because so that I hope I could thread it. Doesn't do me any good to put my glasses on.
But she's coming up for cataract surgery.
Soon, we hope. We'll know the end of the month. Okay, so now we'll do the sunflower one. So there again, see, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. See, that's got some lumps in it, but you're going to fold it anyway. So fold it that away, this away. And Brenda, I'm using probably 2-inch needle, but you don't have to.
Karen Hunter said her husband has to do cataract surgery also.
I'm not looking forward. I can't say I'm not looking forward to it because I'm ready to see again. I'm pretty much, my right eye, I don't see anything. But I go on the 30th to then schedule it, I guess. I go for the evaluation. I've already been like to the regular eye doctor. And she's like, oh yeah, there it is. No wonder you can't see.
Brother Bracken says she can't see it either.
She can't see the needles?
You can't thread needle.
Yeah.
You see, none of these comments are showing up on.
Well, it's probably something to do with when you flip the camera. You probably shocked it.
Karen said he had one eye done about 10 years ago, and now he's got to have the other one done.
Gosh. This eye, my left eye is good. Thank goodness, but you know, when did we find this out, Ed? Back in August?
Yeah, I think so.
But my heart doctor told me I couldn't have any kind of surgery till it had been a year. So it's been a year now, so I'm going for it. Because I think it's getting worse, you know. I went last Sunday to watch our granddaughter play soccer, and I couldn't tell which one she was. I mean, I finally had to just kind of watch her socks. She actually was one of the very few that had stripes on her socks. It's like, oh, okay, that's Lainey. But yeah, I got glasses, and she had told me it probably wouldn't do any good, and she was right, it didn't. So, but that's okay. But the thought of somebody sticking a needle in my eye, but everybody says it really doesn't hurt, but just for a second. We'll see. And I don't think the recovery is very long with it either, so.
Karen said, "Why are you awake?"
Are you awake, you mean?
There's,
I think, now my neighbor had it done, and she said the little prick in the eye hurts, but just for a split second. But then they kind of put you under, it may depend on the doctor, but I'm going to see the same doctor she did. I think they put you under to do whatever they need to do, but you're not totally out of it. You're not out very long. Which I didn't know, I didn't know what that would have to do with why I couldn't have it done for a year. But he was adamant. He made me wait a year. I had a tooth that needed fixed. I needed a root canal and a crown on it, and he wouldn't let me do it either. But it's done now, so that was the first thing we did. I guess you could make this run and stitch as big or as little as you wanted to.
Karen said his recovery time was short, only a few minutes of pain, but he could see everything, but it was like he was dreaming.
Huh. Well, I've worn glasses to read, or to see from, at a distance, even when I drive. So I haven't been driving. But that's one reason I went ahead and had them checked, because I'm like, boy, I can't even use the cheaters from Dollar Tree anymore to read.
Brenda Bracken wants to know what you're going to use for the stem.
I actually got, those little skewers that you barbecue with from the Dollar Tree. And I just took a baby wet wipe and some green paint and painted them green. And then you just glue the flower. I'll show you in a minute. You just glue the flower on the back of it. And then cut them the length you want them. And like I said, you could play with the flowers. If I was going to do any more on a stem, I would cut some flower from artificial plant, greenery or something. I didn't like any of the flowers I tried to do. They say do it kind of like you do these, but see, it would have to be really tiny.
You mean leaves?
Do the leaves, yeah. Do the leaves like you do the petals. And mine just didn't look right, you know. So if I was going to put many on a stem, I would just use artificial. Oh, that one's turned wrong. All right, so see, you really don't have to do a whole lot to it. Just pull it together. Kind of flatten it. And you really, once you get it together, you can decide what side you like because they really do look a little bit different. All right, I'm just going to hold that down and get my knot going in it. Now, I kind of feel like I could have made that one a little smaller, but I'm going to use one of these sunflowers anyway. So, but if you had brown pom-pom or something, you could put in the center, or brown button. Okay. All right, so there we've got 3 different ones. Oops. My glue gun is hot, so I think I like the way that one looks like that. Really doesn't matter with that one. Let me see. I've got, but these are the skewer things. And I just took some sage green and just put it on a baby wipe and just rubbed it up and down and put it on there. So I'm gonna put this one on this one.
Karen says she loves these flowers. They have a secret sister at church, so they're going to make some for her secret sister.
Oh, that'd be cool. And I'll tell you, Lee, the night she made them, she took a little, of course this is just the thing I had in my 3-tiered tray, and they look really cute just stuck down in this, and you couldn't even tell, like I had played with these with the leaves, but in this you can't really even tell if they've got leaves or not. But you could do something like this really cute. All right, I think that's the way I'm gonna do them. All right, let's see. So then you'll just put the glue.
Kathy Moore said the sunflower's beautiful.
Yeah, I liked the sunflower too. I thought it was cool. Okay. This one is, I'm just going to put a pom-pom there. You just have to be careful because like you put it in the center, but then if your center, it just goes right straight through to the table. So but you could put a pom-pom on this side, and you've got a flower on both sides. Or you could even lay a flower over a flower like that and make a double one. I'm just going to turn that one like that so it'll dry. See, that one's pretty small. But I'm just going to put a white button on it. I really have no purpose for any of these, but I'll find something. And see, if you were going to put the stem on it, you would just take the stem, that's still a little hot, and just glue it like this. And you still could do a double flower. You could put a flower on top of that like this. So you could do the double flower. Would be cute and different, unusual. But I'll probably save them for a wreath attachment of some sort. But I mean, the options are just endless because there's so many things you could use for a center. But did y'all understand about how to do the sewing of them? Did it make enough sense? And like I said, it depends on, all of these were with this size, which is the, I think this is a Hobby Lobby brand, I'm not sure. But it's a little more than 4 inches. So I would say, It's kind of harder to work with the smaller ones, but I wouldn't go any smaller than this, which was 4 inches exactly. So just find you something that you know, like the size of, that's a circle, and use it for your pattern. But I mean, that's a pretty good size, but I like the bigger ones. Just a tad bigger, and that's going to stick. So, Ed, give me my phone and let me give away something. Okay. Y'all let me pick up my needle before I hurt myself here. Or hurt Ed. Okay. All right. Now, see, y'all know I'm just going to go to the top and then just let it scroll. Ooh, Ed, you should have read every one of those comments. That was a lot of them. All right, I'm just going to scroll for a minute and stop. Karen Boyd Hunter. All right, Karen, do you want the sunflower or do you want the ladybug? Let me know, and then let me scroll a little bit more. First one I see. Brenda Bracken. So Brenda gets one and Karen gets one. Karen, tell me which one you want. And then Brenda, you get the other one. Sunflower. All right, Karen wants the sunflower. And Brenda, you'll get the ladybug. And this would be really cute with the black pom-pom on top of it. So, ladies, I will fold those and just stick them in an envelope for you. And if I don't hear from, was it Eunice? Yeah, Eunice Perkins Glushki. If I don't hear from her...
You're a fine one, but...
I know. Well, I knew when I wrote that. In fact, I told Ed when I wrote it, I said, yeah, you're going to get a kick if you pull this one out. I want to hear you try to say it. But if I don't hear from her, then I will... what is today? Tuesday? If I don't hear from her by Friday, I will just pick another number. I'll leave those names in that bowl. And I'll pick another number so that I can get it in the mail before we leave town. So I appreciate y'all being with me tonight. I hope you've learned a little something different. I would love to see pictures of the flowers that you come up with. And like I said, it's addictive. They're a lot of fun to make. You know, and I'm just going to have to think about what I'm going to do with them. You see, I sat down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh, I need to make another one. It's 13. Okay, but they are a lot of fun to make. And sometimes the material doesn't end up looking like you think. One of my favorites, I think, is this one right here with the and see, I just took green glued on that. I don't know if it's the yellow pom-pom I like. I think the sunflower ones would be really pretty with a brown pom-pom. I just didn't have any. And I came across these, so. But you could use pom-poms, and you could use buttons, and you could use bling. You could make some really blingy flowers. But just about anything. But they were a lot of fun to make. I probably will save them. And just use them for embellishments of something. I've got some cute ideas of things that we're going to do next month. We probably will start on the 27th with a wreath. You're going to touch it again? He just has to move it up a little bit. We'll start on the 27th with another wreath. And I'm thinking about doing a patriotic wreath. Is probably what we'll do, unless something changes between now and then. But y'all remember, I will not be on Friday and will not be on any next week. We're actually going to Branson for the week. We're going to a Jubilee conference that was scheduled for last year and canceled. So we already had it paid for, and we're like, okay, Ed, get your vaccine so that we can go this time. But I'll be back on the 27th. And we went less than an hour tonight. That's good. So I appreciate y'all being here. And Karen gets the sunflowers, and Brenda will get the ladybug. And I will see y'all when I get back on the 27th. Have a great month, and be productive. Have fun. Bye.